Total annihilation 3 years after. The betrayal. Human forces surrounded the Council's capital system. The massive space station where Earth's destruction had been planned now stood as the last stronghold of the alien alliance. Admiral Stone stood on the bridge of retribution, watching as her fleet moved into final assault positions. 3,000 human warships faced the remaining Council defenders, barely 200 vessels, cobbled together from the survivors of a dozen defeated fleets. "All ships report ready, Admiral," announced Captain Rivers from the Fleet Coordination Center. "The enemy has refused our surrender demand." Stone nodded. She had not expected them to surrender. After everything they had done, the Council leaders knew there would be no mercy. Begin the assault. The battle was fierce, but brief. Human ships, built specifically to counter Council technology, swept through the alien defenses like a storm through paper. The reptilian flagship Dominion exploded under concentrated fire from Kane's squadron. Queen Vara's carrier swarm was torn apart by sonic weapons that shattered its hull like glass. Within hours, Council Station itself came under direct attack. Stone led the boarding assault personally, wanting to face her enemies in person. Corridors of the station echoed with the sounds of battle as human Marines fought their way toward the central command chamber. The aliens fought desperately, knowing that defeat meant the end of everything they had built. Stone found Chancellor Rex in the Council chambers where Earth's death sentence had been pronounced. The reptilian leader stood surrounded by the corpses of his bodyguards, his plasma rifle empty, but still raised defiantly. "You have won, human," Rex hissed, his yellow eyes burning with hatred. "But you have become the very monsters you accused us of being." "No," Stone replied calmly, raising her sidearm. "We became the monsters you made us. The difference is, we know what we are." The trial of the surviving Council leaders took place aboard Retribution. Stone personally read the charges against each alien who had voted for Earth's destruction. The evidence was overwhelming. Recorded votes, planning documents, celebration footage from after the attack. "You stand accused of genocide," Stone announced to the assembled prisoners. "A systematic murder of 8 billion human beings and the attempted extinction of our species. How do you answer?" Rex spoke for the group. "We answer that we acted in the best interests of galactic civilization. Humanity was a threat that had to be eliminated." "Then you accept responsibility for your actions?" "We do." Stone's sentence was swift. "You chose to make humanity extinct. In return, you will watch your own civilizations die. You will live to see your worlds empty, your cultures forgotten, your species reduced to the stories we tell our children about the price of betrayal." The surviving Council races faced different fates based on their actions during the war. Those who had opposed Earth's destruction, like the Talons, were welcomed as equals in the new galactic order. Those who had participated faced generations of occupation and reconstruction. The insectoids, whose biological weapon attacks had been particularly cruel, lost their rights to space travel. The reptilians, who had planned the initial betrayal, saw their military capabilities permanently restricted. The energy beings who had celebrated human suffering found their dimensional technology confiscated. But the greatest project was the restoration of Earth itself. Human terraforming technology, advanced through years of living in space, began the long process of healing their home world's wounds. The great cities would rise again. The forests would grow back. The oceans would run clean. Captain Mitchell, now promoted to admiral, oversaw the reconstruction efforts. "It will take 50 years to fully restore the biosphere," he reported to Stone, "but Earth will live again." Stone stood on the observation deck of the orbital station above Earth, watching as the first green shoots appeared in what had been the ruins of New York. Around her, alien refugees worked alongside human citizens to build a better future, not as conquerors and conquered, but as partners in survival. Was it worth it? Asked Commander Vale, the Talon officer who had warned them of the betrayal. Stone considered the question carefully. Billions had died. Entire civilizations had fallen. The galaxy would never be the same. Ask me in 100 years, she said finally. When human children play on Earth's green hills, and alien children learn about the cost of hatred in their schools, when the galaxy knows peace built on respect instead of fear, then I'll tell you if it was worth it. The age of the Council was over. The age of humanity had begun. And in the rebuilt cities of Earth, children of all species would learn the most important lesson of all, that those who sow betrayal will reap annihilation. The stars belong to humanity now, and humanity would not make the same mistakes as those who came before. The hunt began as 1 year after the betrayal. The human fleet had grown from desperate survivors to deadly predators. Their ships, now numbering in the thousands, used technology that combined human innovation with captured Council systems. Captain Mitchell led reconnaissance missions deep into Council space, his ships moving through hyperspace like ghosts. They gathered intelligence on fleet positions, weapon capabilities, and political divisions among the alien races. The reptilians have 47 battle cruisers stationed at their home world, reported Navigator Lisa Park as she analyzed the latest data. But their patrol schedules follow predictable patterns. We could slip past their defenses. Not yet, Mitchell replied. We're not ready for direct confrontation. Keep gathering information. Human forces began a campaign of terror against Council worlds. They did not attack directly. Instead, they sabotaged communication networks, caused mysterious equipment failures, and left behind evidence of their presence. Council citizens lived in fear, never knowing when humans might strike. On the insectoid world of Hive Prime, Queen Vara examined the wreckage of another destroyed facility. How do they move unseen through our space? She demanded of her military advisors. Unknown, Your Majesty, replied General Crix, his antennae twitching nervously. Our sensors detect nothing. They appear, strike, and vanish like shadows. The panic spread through the alien alliance. Some races wanted to negotiate with the surviving humans. Others demanded total extermination. The unity that destroyed Earth began to crumble under pressure. We should offer them terms, suggested Ambassador Flux during a heated council session. Perhaps we can reach an agreement. Never, roared Chancellor Rex, slamming his clawed hand on the council table. They are vermin that must be exterminated completely. We show no mercy to those who threaten our rule. Human engineers worked around the clock developing weapons specifically designed to exploit each alien race's biological weaknesses. Sonic bombs that shattered insectoid exoskeletons, electromagnetic pulses that disrupted energy being consciousness, viral agents that targeted reptilian nervous systems. Dr. Clark presented her latest creation to Admiral Stone, a weapon that could turn a star into a supernova. With this device, we could destroy entire systems, she explained. But the radiation would make those areas uninhabitable for thousands of years. Good, Stone replied without hesitation. Let them learn the price of betrayal. The first major strike came against a Council military base orbiting the gas giant Storm's End. Commander King led a squadron of stealth ships in a coordinated assault that destroyed the base in minutes. When reinforcements arrived, they found only debris and another message. This is what you earned. Fear began to replace confidence in Council territories. Military patrols doubled. Civilian evacuations began from outer rim worlds. But the humans always seemed to know where the aliens would be, always struck where defenses were weakest. They fight like no enemy we have faced, admitted General Scythe of the reptilian fleet. Our tactics assume rational behavior, seeking territory, resources, strategic advantage. But the humans seek only destruction. The psychological warfare was working. Council unity fractured as each race began to blame the others for their predicament. Trade agreements collapsed. Military cooperation broke down. The alliance that had ruled the galaxy for centuries was tearing itself apart. Admiral Stone watched the intelligence reports with satisfaction. They wanted to see what humans would become when pushed to extinction, she told her staff. Now they know. We are their nightmare made real. The hunt was only beginning. Soon, the Council would face the full fury of humanity unleashed, the Arisake Onai-G2. Years after the betrayal, the human fleet launched coordinated strikes against Council worlds. Admiral Stone's strategy was simple but devastating. Hit them everywhere at once, give them no time to recover or regroup. The attack on Reptilian Prime came without warning. Stealth ships emerged from hyperspace directly above the planet's capital. City. Sonic weapons shattered the crystalline spires that had stood for millennia. The reptilian government, caught completely off guard, could only watch as their military installations burned. Chancellor Rex screamed orders from his bunker beneath the planetary surface. All fleets return immediately. Defend the homeworlds. But the humans had planned for this. As Council fleets rushed back to protect their capitals, human forces struck the now undefended outer colonies. Within days, dozens of worlds fell to coordinated assaults. On Hive Prime, Queen Vara faced a different kind of horror. Human forces had deployed a biological weapon specifically designed to target insectoid nervous systems. Her soldiers collapsed by the thousands, their bodies racked with paralysis. The weapon was non-lethal, but completely incapacitating. Surrender, and we will provide the antidote, came the message from the human fleet commander. Resist, and your entire species will spend eternity paralyzed, but conscious. The energy beings of Flux faced electromagnetic pulse weapons that disrupted their very existence. Their home stations flickered between dimensions as their consciousness fragmented. For beings made of pure energy, it was torture beyond imagination. Captain Mitchell led the assault on the Council's primary shipyard at Nexus Station. His ships used captured Council technology against its creators, turning their own weapon systems into tools of destruction. Their shields cannot protect against their own frequencies, reported Weapons Officer Dan Cole as he targeted the station's reactor. Core, ironic, isn't it? The shipyard exploded in a cascade of fire that could be seen from 3 star systems away. With it died the Council's ability to replace their losses. The aliens discovered that human military doctrine had evolved far beyond their understanding. Where Council races fought for territory or resources, humans fought for survival and revenge. A motivation that made them unstoppable. They do not seek to conquer, observed General Scythe as he reviewed battlefield reports. They seek to destroy completely. There is no negotiating with such creatures. The Council's desperation led to increasingly desperate measures. They began targeting human civilian refugees, hoping to force the fleet to surrender. It was a fatal mistake. Admiral Stone's response was swift and merciless. For every human civilian killed, we will sterilize one of their worlds, she announced. Let them learn that their actions have consequences. True to her word, when Council forces executed 1,000 human prisoners, Stone ordered the complete orbital bombardment of a reptilian colony world. The planet burned for weeks, its atmosphere ignited by human plasma weapons. The psychological impact was devastating. Council military units began surrendering rather than face human retaliation. Entire star systems declared neutrality, hoping to avoid the fate of those who continued to resist. Commander Kane led a strike force to rescue human prisoners from a Council detention facility. What they found there hardened even veteran soldiers. Humans subjected to medical experiments, torture, and worse. They wanted to understand what makes us dangerous, Kane reported to Stone after the rescue. Now they know. We remember everything. We forgive nothing. The tide had turned completely. Council fleets that once numbered in the tens of thousands were reduced to scattered squadrons. Their alliance, built on mutual benefit and shared power, crumbled when faced with extinction. Some alien leaders attempted to negotiate separate peace agreements with the humans. Admiral Stone's response was always the same. You voted to destroy Earth. The price for that vote is your civilization. As human forces closed in on the Council's capital system, the remaining alien leaders faced a terrible choice: fight to the death or surrender unconditionally. Either way, their age of dominance was ending. The reckoning had come for those who betrayed humanity. The BTR Rival Commander Jack King stood on the bridge of the Earth defense ship Horizon, watching the tactical display with growing unease. The alien ships that had been their allies for 50 years were moving into attack formations around Earth's orbital stations. Something was very wrong. Sir, the Council fleet is not responding to our communications, reported Lieutenant Davis from the communications station. All channels are being blocked, Jack frowned. Earth had been part of the Galactic Council for half a century, contributing everything they could to maintain peace across 12 star systems. When the insectoid hive invaded Council space, human Marines were first to respond. When the crystal beings of Nexus Prime needed rare minerals, Earth's miners worked double shifts. When pirates threatened trade routes, human patrol ships kept the lanes safe. Earth gave everything to the Council. At Earth Command, Admiral Lisa. Stone received an encrypted message that made her blood run cold. The transmission came from Commander Vale, a trusted ally from the bird-like Talon race. His words were urgent. They planned to eliminate Earth. The vote was unanimous. You have 6 hours before the attack begins. Hours earlier, in the sacred chambers of the Council station, representatives from 11 alien races had gathered in secret. The reptilian Chancellor Rex spoke with cold calculation as he addressed the assembly. Humans grow too powerful, Rex hissed, his forked tongue flicking out. Their technology advances too fast. Their military becomes too strong. We created a weapon we can no longer control. The insectoid Queen Vara clicked her mandibles in agreement. They breed like pests across their colonies. Soon they will outnumber us all. Better to stop them now while we still can. The energy-based beings of Flux agreed through their mechanical translator. Human ambition knows no limits. They will consume the galaxy if we allow them to continue. One by one, each race voted. The decision was final. Earth must die. As warning messages flooded in from human allies across the galaxy. The horrible truth became clear. Every joint military exercise had been reconnaissance. Every technology sharing agreement had been theft. Every act of human kindness had been seen as weakness to exploit. Without warning, Council ships opened fire on Earth's orbital defense platforms. The space stations, built with both human and alien technology, crumbled under the sudden assault. Explosions lit up the void as thousands of civilians died in the first minutes. Admiral Stone quickly activated Protocol 7, the emergency response plan nobody hoped they would ever need. Across Earth's solar system, hidden military installations powered up. Ships that were disguised as cargo vessels shed their false hulls to reveal advanced warships. The asteroid mining facilities transformed into weapons platforms. Commander Kane led a desperate defense of the lunar colonies. His ship Horizon took heavy damage from reptilian plasma cannons, but he managed to evacuate 50,000 civilians before the Council forces overwhelmed the position. As he retreated toward Mars, Kane sent a message to Earth Command. They wanted to see what humans can really do. Let's show them. Not all humans were caught off guard. Captain Roy Mitchell, commander of the exploration vessel Pioneer, was deep in uncharted space when the attack began. His ship carried a full scientific team and advanced fabrication equipment. They would become the seed of humanity's revenge. Earth burned under orbital bombardment. Cities that stood for centuries were reduced to ash in minutes. New York, London, Tokyo, all turned to glass and rubble. But the humans did not break. From hidden bunkers, resistance fighters launched guerrilla attacks. From the ocean depths, submarine fleets emerged to strike at council ships. Even as their world died, humans fought back. In the chaos of battle, Admiral Stone discovered the real reason for the betrayal. Hidden in captured council communications was the truth. Humans were never meant to be equals. The council had planned from the beginning to use human strength to eliminate their other enemies, then dispose of Earth when it was no longer useful. As Earth fell, Admiral Stone made a final decision. She activated the human fleet's FTL drives and led the survivors into deep space. Behind them, Earth continued to burn. Ahead of them lay the vast darkness between stars. But in that darkness, Stone knew humans would find a way to survive. Standing on the bridge of the flagship Retribution, Admiral Stone addressed the fleet over the communication system. They think they have won. They think humans are finished. They are wrong. We will rebuild. We will return. And when we do, the Council will learn what happens when you betray humanity. As the human fleet disappeared into hyperspace, Chancellor Rex received reports from across Council space. Human colonies were going dark. Human ships were vanishing. The humans were not running away. They were preparing. The war had only just begun. The EXILE 6 months after Earth's fall, the human fleet drifted in the void between galaxies. Their ships ran on minimal power to avoid detection, while 50 million survivors lived in cramped conditions aboard vessels never designed for long-term habitation. Admiral Stone walked through the corridors of Retribution, seeing families crowded into cargo bays and children, born in space, who would never see Earth. Food was rationed. Water was recycled. Hope was the scarcest resource of all. "Admiral, we have a problem," reported Chief Engineer Tom Brady. "The civilian ships are breaking down. We're losing life support systems faster than we can repair them." Stone nodded grimly. "How long do we have? At this rate? Maybe 6 more months before we start losing people to system failures." In the science labs of Pioneer, Captain Roy Mitchell's team made a breakthrough while analyzing wreckage from the Earth battle. Dr. Emma Clark, the fleet's lead physicist, called an urgent meeting. "The alien weapons use a specific energy signature," she explained, pointing to data on her screen. "We can track and predict their movements. More importantly, we found evidence of a council weakness. Their ships cannot function properly in high radiation environments." "What does that mean for us?" asked Mitchell. "It means we can build ships they cannot detect or defend against." In a dead star system, the human fleet established a temporary base inside the hollow core of a gas giant. Using advanced fabrication technology, they began building new ships designed specifically for war against the council races. These vessels were unlike anything humans had built before: sleek, deadly, and invisible to council sensors. Commander Vale of the Talon race risked everything to establish secret communication channels with the human survivors. Through these contacts, humans learned that council worlds were celebrating Earth's destruction with festivals and parades. Images showed alien children playing with toys made from Earth's ruins. The sight filled the human survivors with cold fury. "They celebrate our deaths," whispered Lieutenant Sarah Kim as she watched the transmissions. "Our families, our children, they make games of our suffering." Young humans who escaped Earth's destruction trained in combat simulators running scenarios against each council race. They learned the weakness of every alien species, the reptilians' slow reflexes in cold environments, the insectoids' vulnerability to sonic weapons, the energy beings' instability when exposed to electromagnetic pulses. The first strike came. Without warning, Commander Kane led a small stealth force to attack a Council supply depot in the Outer Rim. Using new cloaking technology, they destroyed the facility without being detected. When Council investigators arrived, they found only empty space and a single message burned into a nearby asteroid. Earth remembers. Chancellor Rex addressed the Council in emergency session, his scaled hands trembling slightly. They, humans, are not extinct. They hide in the dark spaces between stars. Our intelligence networks report strange disappearances. Ships vanish without distress calls. Colonies go silent overnight. The humans have become something we did not expect. Queen. Vara's compound eyes reflected her growing fear. Perhaps we should have killed them all when we had the chance. It is too late for regrets, Rex replied. We must find them before they grow stronger. Across Council space, alien dissidents who had opposed Earth's destruction began to organize. They provided the human fleet with intelligence, supplies, and safe havens. The Talon race split into civil war over their government's participation in the betrayal. Living in the dark between stars changed humanity. They became harder, colder, more focused on survival and revenge. Admiral Stone established new protocols for the fleet. Every action must serve the goal of returning to reclaim Earth and punish those who betrayed them. We are no longer the humans who sought peace among the stars, Stone told her officers. We are weapons forged in the fires of betrayal. And weapons have only one purpose. The transformation was complete. The survivors of Earth were ready to become hunters.